Feels like just about every car YouTuber these days is buying an original Porsche Boxster. Here's mine. And if you're wondering why the back end's off the ground, don't worry, it does run. We're just a couple weeks from the start of actual car season here in Canada. It's still kind of a frozen wasteland out there, so I took the winter to refresh some things. Well, at least I did until it got really cold. Back before Christmas, I managed to swap in a brand new set of Koni Special Actives, which should be a huge upgrade over the 26-year-old factory Bilsteins. At the same time, select new arms with fresh bushes promise to tighten up this bargain Porsche. Now that we're in a thaw, let's get back to wrenching. Big lips on your wheels are cool, but big lips on your brakes, not so much. Fronts were done a while ago, with rears, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, they're, well, they were good a couple of years ago. So, let's get to fixing that. Wheels already off, so this should be quite easy. Step one will be to take this cotter pin off, the retaining pin, for the brake pads, and then we can just sort of hammer that out with a punch. Let's get cracking. Great success. We can just rest this. Oh wait, that's right. There is a 10 mil way back there. Should have done that first, but hey, the stuff you forget when you leave your project for a while. Whoopsie. Okay, now you can sort of rest the caliper there for a second. Come around to the other side. Because this is a new enough car, or a fancy enough car, it has brake pad wear sensors. They run up to this sort of connector here, which then goes into the body, and that's your harness. So this should be just a clip, pull, job done. Come on. Yeah, all right. Is this technically a way to work on a cheap Porsche? Sure, is it the right way? Debatable. As simple as, yep. Okay, old pads are out. Caliper is supported. Time for the disc. And I hate these set screws. So we're gonna do something probably a little bit overkill, probably a little bit sketchy, but should work. There are definitely less ridiculous ways of doing this than putting a star bit on an ancient corded impact, but this has always worked for me, so let it rip. All right, that's a disc ready to come off. Yep, it's got a bit of a lip on it. While you're at this stage, you should always have something to clean off the hub with. For some reason, the coarsest thing I have is 320 grit, and it's a bit country girls make do, but you know, this thing, it's never been winter driven, so it should do all right. Quick spritz on the hub, quick wipe with a towel, and would you look at that? So, onto the disc. Thanks to the magic of the internet, you can now get some really decent parts, brand name, sent to your door. These are Pagid discs. Pagid, obviously owned by Hella, but also part of the Techstar group in a way, which means they should go nicely. You know, nice little instruction manual. And here is the coated disc itself. Do not Photoshop this into Goatsy. Okay. The parts cleaner is all the way over there. Even though this is a coated disc, Hellas, or Pagid, says to apply just a touch of brake parts cleaner to the surface. So yeah. That should be ready to go on the car. If basic sort of geometry has taught me anything, that should do it. Of course, part of the reason these don't have to be super tight is because the caliper and the wheel and the wheel bolts and all that hold it on nice and tight anyway. So yeah, it's cool tool time. This might look like some sort of medieval torture device, but it's actually a wind out, sort of offset caliper spreader. So we can get in there and really spread them. Huh? Open up the monoblock caliper speculum, I guess. Make sure it's on all the pistons, as you can see, and just sort of ensure. What's the saying? Trust but verify? I trust that I wound these back several months ago, but never hurts to verify. All right, got my new bolts from Porsche here, and before we do that, let's line up the caliper, just like, not like, sort of that, I guess. Now these get torqued to 63 foot-pounds. Fantastic. Next up, new pads are going in with the old sensors. And if you want to know why, well, two reasons. One, take a look at this. This is one of the original pads, and as you can see from the edge, it's getting quite crumbly. These are original, and I don't want to risk any material separation. I did buy new pattern part wear sensors, but as often with cheap parts, they don't fit. So since these pads were not on the wear sensors, they weren't wearing through them, we're just going to reuse the old sensors with a brand new pair of Pagid pads. Just look at the difference there. So fitting the old sensors to the new pads was literally a snap, and these, in theory, should, if I've done this correctly, just like that. Okay. All right, new day, new outfit, new mission. This is a little Bluetooth module for the Boxster's factory CDR220 radio, and these are the keys to pull it. Let's get cracking. I do have a little cable currently installed that runs from the radio underneath the dashboard to my phone, but it drops out sometimes. Besides, it's not like a cabriolet is a reference environment, so let's give Bluetooth a whirl. In theory, ooh, there we go. This should just pull out. And we can snake this back on through. If I'm lucky. Let's give this a little test. That's not too bad, all things considered. I'll take that. New hotness installed. Old, busted, garbage, gone. Right now it's surprisingly warm out for late February, which can only mean one thing. The plastic window in the cabriolet top's nice and flexible, so it's time to get that back end down on the ground and take care of the last few little maintenance items. Brand new wheel bolts cost $15 a pop. That's $300 a set. A can of silver paint costs $15 and makes old wheel bolts look far less ugly. Now, partial service position on a 986 Boxster sounds a bit scary because the engine's in the middle, but don't be too intimidated. It's actually quite easy. First, you bring the roof back just a little bit. Then, normally, you have little ball clips on the bottom side of the top, along with this sort of flap. Now, I've detached, I don't know if you can see this, detached the flap. The balls are out, which means theoretically, hey, and it just pops open like that. Twist 2 quarter-turn fasteners and the rear storage compartment will be ready to pop out. Keep in mind it is bottomless, so be prepared to go back for the car's handbook. 2 more quarter-turn fasteners hold the carpet in. Remove that and you'll have access to the engine cover. More quarter-turn fasteners here, but be careful. These are metal and you don't want to scratch your paint. And just like that, the journey to the center of the Boxster is complete. I bet you can guess what I'm changing. Alright, here's the old air filter, and here's the new one. Yeah, it's about time. Okay, next step. The Boxster is supposed to have cables that tension the back of the cabriolet top when it's closed, but that's not good. Thankfully, there's a solution. This is a pattern part from some manufacturer, much cheaper than Porsche Original, and should do the job just as well. So, pop that on the ball socket down there, and then really just lower this until I can clip them up top. Very nice. While the spot of general maintenance isn't the most exciting thing you can do to a car, it's usually inexpensive and quite good for the soul. Something mended, something upkept, certain fixes that virtually guarantee improvement. In an uncertain world, there's something reassuring about taking care of the small stuff. Plus, it's amazing what a few minutes here and there can do for a project. Anyway, that's all for now, but there's a lot more to come with my 986 Boxster, especially once the weather warms up.